hello there, and what's up, Reaction Faction? It's Deadpool.
Don't get it twisted. This rap shit is mine, motherfuckers. I'm fucking dead. Fuck what you heard. It's what you hearing. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen. X gon' give it to you. What? Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop and stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Hell Happened to Them. This season, a title fight is brewing. That's right, Eddie Murphy versus Jim Carrey. I am your host, Patrick Skeyhill, and joining me on the line is a crooked cop on the edge with nothing left to lose, Joe Vekeman.
Oh, hi. You saw me. From over there.
And on the audio voice is Levan Rensselaer, reminding me to remind you that you can email the cast at whathappenedtothamcast@gmail.com. And our sponsor this week is Cranberries. Not sure if that's the fruit or the band, but it's definitely one of them. Thank you, either version. All right, Joe, what movie are we doing this week?
We watched The Deadpool.
The Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Starring Ryan Reynolds. No.
Would have been a baby.
Yes.
A little Ryan Reynolds. Maybe like 8 or 9.
Starring with Clint
Eastwood.
as a very smelly and muddy Harry.
I think he's like 58 in this movie.
Yeah, I kind of noticed in the opening action sequence when he was moving sort of Robert De Niro-esque circa The Irishman.
Well, that's given a lot to Clint Eastwood because Robert De Niro is like 70-something in that. Or no, the other way around, yeah. You're being mean to Clint. He's only 50-something.
Well, the other thing, too, is the other factor in that action sequence could have been that Clint just didn't look like he really wanted to be here.
I mean, it's the 5th Dirty Harry. Did you go back and watch any of them?
No, I've been on set all week. I did not. I was lucky to get this one in.
Okay. Well, I also didn't either, but I had seen the first one, get this, 20 years ago. I watched it when I was 14 because I was like, I like Clint Eastwood now. He made $1 Billion Baby. It's the Best Picture winner this year. And I was young, dumb, and naive.
Oh, that's right. We saw that together, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw it together. That was a fun time. I think it was one of the first one we saw together.
Young, dumb, and naive. You're still watching Clint films. We just saw him, like, wrestle a chicken or whatever that movie is.
Cry Macho.
Cry Macho.
No, but I'm just saying, I was like, oh, well, he's my favorite director in 2004.
You didn't like The Bridges of Madison County at the age of 14?
I have actually never seen that one. I watched, okay. I got the Dirty Harry collection, though, on DVD snap cases.
Hey, you already have this. You're ready to go.
I was ready to go.
You were like, I finally get to use you, DVD.
Yeah, a DVD that I've had for 20 years now and have not watched. Just been sitting in this little, like, Dirty Harry collection.
So is this the last one?
This is the last one. What a way to go out.
Seemingly nonchalantly, they're like, and the movie's over. I'm like, oh, that's just done, huh?
No, okay. I don't know if we are agreeing on this movie, but my review is, let me tell you, I review this as one of the best 3-star movies I've seen in a long time. A great time at the movies. So good.
This is a 1-star film, you madman. This was such a lifeless 80s piece of 80s that ever 80'd.
You're so wrong.
I'm so done with it.
I enjoyed all 90 minutes of this movie.
Half-baked zingers.
Half-baked singers, like, opinions are like assholes.
Yeah.
Everyone has one.
They look at the list and he goes, oh, yeah, R.I.P., rest in peace. Yeah, we know what that means, Clint.
It's like, are you educating us? Do we not know what that meant? But
we got the drama. We're fine.
But one of the last lines is because they were like, "Hey, where's the bad guy?" And he's like, "Oh, he's hanging in over there."
Yeah, oh, by the way, audience, yeah, he's just been harpooned.
Yes, Clint Eastwood pulls out, like how Rambo pulls out the fucking, like, Gatling gun or whatever. It's just like, hey, I found a harpoon. I don't have my Magnum anymore. I'm going to shoot you through the chest. And it's just like, whoosh, right to the...
There was a little callback, though, where he's like, you're out of bullets, so it just means you're out of luck, instead of the asking him if he feels lucky.
I know, yeah. It's
a little callback there.
So this was released on July 13th, 1988. a mere 2 weeks after, what did we do for Eddie last time?
Coming to America.
Yes, Coming to America.
I bet this movie didn't make $230 million.
On a $31 million budget. That feels crazy to me. In the 80s.
I know.
Because there's there's a couple of like set pieces in this, but like it's not crazy.
Yeah, they can't have him do too much these days.
And yeah. So it's really just Clint Eastwood's show here. And I thought we were going to get a different movie, though, because like I had said, I haven't seen this before. When Jim Carrey shows up and we just get a lot of Jim Carrey all of a sudden in the first, 8 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I was all game for that. I was like, what the fuck's this Satan thing? And I went, oh, it's Jim Carrey. And I go, oh, this is like me liking Jim Carrey finally. Maybe it's because the rest of the movie's so goddamn boring up until then that we got some life into it. And he's dead. All right, well. Very
quickly. It was 5 minutes. I think it was less than the times he had on screen for Finders Keepers. My beloved Finders Keepers.
But we got the kill count.
Bully did.
15 movies in. Yep, Jim's in and out. He plays like a movie star. I didn't know what the fuck a Deadpool was gonna be.
Yeah, no, I didn't know either.
I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, oh, it could be all these kind of kooky things, And then when they finally revealed it, I thought, wow, that was one of the more boring things you could have gone with.
It's just a kill list. You could have called it a kill list. They came up with that later on. Do you have seen that movie?
No.
Who's that director? I believe he's a British director. He was up and coming for a while, and then he kind of just trailed off.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock.
Come on. He did Ben Wheatley. He did a movie called Kill List, which I think is probably one of his best movies. I really liked that. He did the Meg. That's what happened. He did the Meg 2. Oh, and he did the Rebecca remake. You weren't far off with Hitchcock.
Yeah, everybody was craving for that Rebecca remake, I'm sure.
Yeah, I believe that came out either in the pandemic or the year after the pandemic, straight to Netflix, like everyone wants.
It's a Criterion film, right? The Hitchcock version?
Yeah, I believe so.
I just feel like if you're on the Criterion, you don't need a remake. I think you're culturally sound enough where you're fine.
I'm trying to think of Criterion movies that have been remade now. Oh my god, there's gonna be so many that we're forgetting. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Jim Carrey dies 5 minutes in, but I thought he had a lot of range. I just really need to get to the point that I've been holding on for so long with you.
Are you talking about Liam Neeson in the Satisfaction era?
I'm talking about Liam Neeson and his rat tail. That can't be real. What was the decision making behind it? It's like his hair is definitely short. It is definitely someone attached a ponytail to the back of his head.
Yes.
And just kind of either pinned it with some hairpins, or it was Velcroed on. It looked like it'd fall off any second. No one used it as we're gonna get you. But my god, what a choice.
The opening sequence, we're hearing about the news report.
Yes.
And Dirty Harry gets on the list of celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera reveals the guy from behind, and he's got that ponytail.
Yes.
And I thought, when we finally saw Liam Neeson, I'm like, why did you want to make that so apparent to us? I'd assume, based on the news report, that this was going to be the mobster, whoever that he put away, that I'm presuming was the bad guy in the fourth movie.
Is it Gennaro?
Something generically like that. Yeah. Maybe he's, I don't know, out on bail or whatever. I don't know, Joe. I was not expecting a completely different story to come out from the way the movie began.
Crime Lord Lou Gennaro is the mobster in prison.
And he didn't seem to matter too much. And also there's a whole thing where he's got bodyguards to protect him. They didn't seem to matter all that much.
No.
You could have had a cool moment with them in the climax to kind of help out a little bit. You didn't want any of that. Your movie was only 80 minutes and you're like, well, we got to add 10 minutes of something. So let's throw those guys in there and do a little sequence with that.
So who's the guy who's the murderer guy at the end? Because he's is he in the movie? I never clocked him anywhere else besides being the big reveal. Did you see him anywhere?
Nope.
I hate that. I always hate that when that happens.
Yeah, it's suddenly they're like, oh, it must be this guy. And I go, wow, how did we get here? What?
I was kind of clowning on the budget for being $31 million earlier. And I was like, well, how did it get that high? I remembered that they used the Welcome to the Jungle Guns N' Roses song twice. Once, the first time, you get about 2.5 minutes with that, with Jim Carrey just lip syncing.
A lot of Jim Carrey thing.
And I'm like, this is going on so long. What is the point of this? And then when the director finally steps up, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's something. But it did go on a very long time, and I'm like, okay, well, Jim's get to use his like big faces and like all of his expressions, and that was fun. But heroin overdose, but it's they drugged him with something else, but he's shooting up with heroin, really?
It's like fake yet somehow more dangerous heroin that they get him with in like a rag form.
I also noticed that the killer at the end has an accent, but it's like slightly off from Liam Neeson, because I thought they were setting up Liam Neeson to be the main killer the whole time. So like
that's why I think they wanted to give Liam Neeson that ponytail, right? So
at the end when you see the guy with the jacket, you're like, where's the ponytail? Whatever. I like this movie, but I mean, I don't love it. It's. You
didn't like what seemed like a 15-minute car chase where Clint's being chased by a tiny toy car?
That was awesome. Okay. Oh my God. What was the movie? Oh my God. I'm going to forget it now. There's a movie where they have, oh, Jesus Christ. Toy Story. Do you think the creators of Toy Story are like, wow, we are the Deadpool fans? Because it's that last like act of this movie.
Yeah, we got to change our whole third act, everybody.
Yeah, the last third act mirrors the last third act.
Yes,
of Toy
exactly.
Story.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they're like racing to the toy cars racing after the other car, trying to catch up, and you see the guy with the little like
remote controller.
Yes,
thing.
Thank you. The first time it does it, when he just like throws it into the guy's car when he's like parked in the garage, I'm like, oh, that's very smart. That's a very like smart way to like kind of deceptively blow someone up without like having to go over to their house. Like you got a little like blow up car. When you're chasing someone like down the streets in California, like where is it? Like San Diego or something?
It looks like it's San Francisco.
Just there's no way you can keep the range of that motor, the little remote control car, going that fast at that speed. Very silly.
And with no traffic in the middle of the city.
Oh yeah,
just none.
And then it goes on the sidewalk, and everyone's like, ah! If that was on the sidewalk, it would run into people's feet and stop dead. No one would be looking up for a little remote control car. You're like, what the fuck is this? It was whatever.
And I'm not even convinced what Clint did to not get the car fully blown up. I'm unsure what happened there, especially since it looked like it blew up from the front. The part of his car should have theoretically passed over.
It's so like telling that Clint's like, you're not gonna get any blood on me, brother. Like, not happening. He's like, I don't get wounded in this. I just take the bad guys out. That's what I do. Because his partner, who's been the whole time, is freaked out, and he says that his like, I think his grandfather has like put paint on him to protect him, and then his grandfather like told him these secrets. They're like, if you want to survive a bad partnership or like a dangerous partnership, you need always listen to your partner. He's like, that's why I wore the vest. He's just like.
Confucius say, always wear vest.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's basically at that level, though. It's not even trying to hide it. Although, I thought, I've never seen Evan Kim before, I don't believe, but I thought he was pretty good in this. For his role that he was playing, I thought he was fine.
For the barely a role he was playing, yeah.
Oh, that's
the obligatory role, which never really seemed to matter or anything.
Well, it's his second to last film role. He goes on to be in 1,000 Pieces of Gold and Loving Lulu after this in 91 and 92, but that's the end of his film career. He's in Serpico, but it looks like it's not the movie. It looks like it's a television show that I didn't even know existed.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Damn, he's in the Police Story television show. He's not in the Police Story Jackie Chan movie. Oh, this poor guy.
They did look like they were like, we want budget Jackie Chan for this. Really only in one sequence.
I guess. Oh my God, he does a lot of TV. He's in Chips, Fantasy Island.
Oh, he's taking the tour of the 80s shows, I see.
Knight Rider.
Yep,
Exactly.
You just need him on like Hawaii 5-0 and like you've got the bingo card.
Well, he's in Matlock. Does that count?
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
It's he's in Jag, L.A. Law.
Hey, all right, he made it into the 90s.
Yeah, he had a very short run for a film career from 76 to 92, and just a handful of movies. But you know what? He's a bit player on TV shows after that. The weird thing is, 1991, L.A. Law. He's in one episode. The next time he does anything is in Jag in 2004, one episode.
He came out for one last rodeo.
Yeah. What was that, 13 years later?
Jag went on that long? My goodness.
How long is it? 227 episodes, 10 seasons. Started in 95 on NBC, got kicked off the air, went to CBS from 97 to 2005.
Yeah, well, CBS produced it, so I'm not super surprised.
Oh, one of those things.
Yeah, they don't really do that anymore, but that was pretty common back in.
We also have Patricia Clarkson playing.
Yes, from Frasier.
Hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling. Tossed salads and scrambled eggs.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know she was a Frasier.
Yeah, there's a little mini thing where he like dates her and she's like the perfect woman, but also he's like getting reacquainted with his old high school crush and like helping her son study for SATs or whatever, and then he's got to like pick between the two.
I mean, yeah, okay. Sorry, going back to the movie really quick for a second. We know age differences in Hollywood are a little outlandish, a little crazy sometimes.
Oh yeah, so what is she, like 28 or something?
Just about. She was like 27. Clint Eastwood's 58.
And she's like, wow, I'm instantly attracted to you, Dirty Harry.
Yeah, and it's like she has a lot to offer. She's like the beginning of her career. She's on TV. She's a news anchor, and he's like at the end of his career as a cop. All the city wants to do is get rid of him. They're like, you're a problem. We have to cover up our tracks all the time with you. You're costing the department thousands and thousands of dollars because you've wrecked the third car in a month now.
Yeah, but I don't blame him for that. He didn't really seem to have a choice.
Yeah, I know.
He brought up a good point. He's like, go build those guys. Leave me alone.
So I told you the budget earlier on this. It was $31 million.
Well, but like,
Okay. Yeah.
All these people that he thinks are trying to shoot him because they belong to the crime boss, like, where did they come from? Because this crazy security guard stalker dude cannot afford professional hitmen. There's like 6 of them that try to kill Clint throughout the movie. He's not footing the bill for that.
And then the main killer is schizophrenic, they say.
Yeah.
And you got to figure that he's probably just kind of like really honed in on like just murdering the people on his list. And he's not going to go out of his way and be like, okay, well, this guy's giving me a real problem. I should go out and hire some guys now to include in my big problem I've created now. You're absolutely right. I don't know where those people come from.
They kind of left that one dangling. Way to go, screenwriters. I guess you were just crapping this out, though.
It's the shortest one. It's 91 minutes. I guess the others are like around 2 hours each.
Yeah, very lifeless movie. I was sort of impressed.
I don't agree.
At the lack of life in this.
I was engaged the whole time. I liked it. I'm not saying it's a great movie.
What movie would have this Guns N' Roses Exorcist music video and apparently a big pirate scene and be called, is it Hell's Hotel? Satan's Hotel?
I forgot about the pirates. I forgot about the fucking pirates. When that happens, I was like, pirates?
Pirates.
Okay.
The movie was called Satan's Hotel or something. Like what?
Satan's Hotel.
Satan's Ho-Hell. Wink. What's Jack Sparrow doing this fucking thing? I don't understand. Oh, it's to set up the big harpoon for the end? Okay.
I agree. You're making a great point. So I looked up the first Dirty Harry movie.
Yeah.
Made on a $4 million budget, made $36 million in 71. The craziest thing, though, to me is this movie comes out 2 days before Christmas. Dirty Harry's a Christmas movie? You guys really, I know they just would program anything back then at around that time. They're like,
They hadn't figured out the sabermetrics yet, yeah. They were like, we got to get it in for the Academy Award run. We got to go.
No. This has now become a Christmas franchise. The second one, Magnum Force, December 25th. Wow, crazy. 2 years later. All right, The Enforcer, 76. December 22nd. I'm not kidding you right now. Sorry, that was the fourth one. And the third one, Sudden Impact, December 9th, which is crazy. They did a Harry Potter thing. They moved from their guaranteed moneymaker time, which was Thanksgiving for Harry Potter, if you remember. I don't know if you remember. Well, I think it's the 5th Harry Potter movie. They turned into a summer movie because there was like maybe something happened. Maybe it was strikes or something. But they changed it to a summer franchise. Did fine, I believe. But Dirty Harry becomes a summer franchise in the middle of July. No good. $37 million on a $31 million budget.
The movie also, Wasn't good.
Disagree. Think it's a fun time. It's a romp.
This is
It's not a great movie. It's a fun time and a romp.
this is the Garfield Furiosa thing. Like, maybe just nobody wanted to watch this because it wasn't good and not some larger system. Though I disagree with my own take because I think the Furiosa Garfield thing is part of a larger ecosystem problem. And it finally caught up with you boobs.
Furiosa is great. My problem with people freaking out about the box office is if you go back to a time before we started like putting giant superhero movies with enormous budgets in the movie theater and expecting $100 million grossers on the first weekend, everything used to be like 20, 30 million. That was like the typical range in the 90s for like a big opening movie with like a movie star. Anya Taylor-Joy what is her thing? What's her big movie that she's like headlined? Chris Hemsworth really isn't that proven on his own either. He's always been like a superhero or it's like part of a larger thing. So depending on these two people to open your movie that is a sequel from 9 years ago, I don't know. And that movie didn't do too well either.
That's sort of the thing, right? Like it doesn't really matter who the actors are for this thing. They thought they were going to get him because they were like, you guys all like this Mad Max movie, right?
What we should have done is put Glenn Powell in there and see what happens.
I'm not doing this. I'm just...
I did that on purpose. I got some trivia for you if you'd like.
All right, send it my way.
I just saw this one. The car chase sequence. I believe it's the one that you were calling out for being silly.
I think it would have to be, yes.
The car chase sequence was inspired by one of the earlier Steve McQueen movies, Bullet. There was an intention to top that car chase with this movie. Reportedly, the sequence is Clint Eastwood's favorite from the movie. Is he talking about Bullet, or is he talking about his own movie that he did? Sorry, I just thought that was funny. Clint Eastwood and Liam Neeson each went on to date. I had no idea about this. Barbara Streisand. Did you know that Eastwood dated her?
I didn't know Liam Neeson dated her.
Well, Eastwood dated her for a few weeks, it says, in the spring of 1989. I'm like, what are we really considering dating if it's a couple of weeks?
They got dinner a couple of times and they were like, nah.
It kind of feels like how his date with Patricia Clarkson goes in this movie. And it says Neeson dated her for 9 months during 91 and 92. Prince of Tides, where she was, her co-star in the movie is Nick Nolte, who was named the sexiest man alive, which I love spouting. Yep, sexiest man alive, 1991.
Yeah, we love bringing that up on the show. It's one of the craziest things. Yeah, I don't know, Streisand and Eastwood seems like a Whoopi and Langella kind of pairing.
Yes, yeah. And so what? Streisand and Neeson is Ted Danson and Whoopi?
Yeah, like it makes a little more sense. Like, all right, it's still kind of odd, but like I buy it way more.
Oh my gosh. For close-up shots of the bomb, a motorized tricycle with a camera mounted at ground level was used to film the model car.
You had to have the super motorized race car, and it had to motorize a tricycle too?
Well, here you go. This movie was, and this is where Clint really was like honing in on, like, this is how I make movies. This movie was shot, edited, and released within 4 months of the beginning of principal photography.
This is the beginning, is it?
Who needs it for Christmas? We got it out by July! Jim Carrey worked for 3 days. Say he could have done it in 2. 1 day for the lip syncing scene, 1 day for the trailer scene. What else do you need him for? He's not going to be at the funeral scene. They don't need him in the box.
Yeah, that seems to be enough. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Maybe one of those scenes took you a lot more extra time than you thought.
Maybe he really needed to...
There's a chance the lip syncing could be done by itself, and then the Liam Neeson stuff is its own thing, even though it's using the same set. My best guess. Yeah, so Jim never got to meet Clint.
You're right. I don't think he did. Although he had to, because in the scene where he's dead, like I know he's not dead in real life, obviously, but I don't know why I had to say that.
Yeah, everybody knows he's not dead. Yep.
But Clint Eastwood does pick up Carrey's hand to like like look at him and like check his arm for the
yeah, I
the track
forgot about
marks.
that part. Okay.
So they were in the scene for that one day. So he was on set with them for a day.
All right, maybe showing off his Clint impression to him. And Clint's like,
You really think he was just like no selling him right away? You're not funny. Who do you think you are?
I think he'd be polite and just wouldn't say anything. He just would like look, maybe like fake a little half smile and walk away.
Well, I'm not going to tell you when he's going to pop up again, but I would say that they probably did have a good conversation on set because Clint does pop up in a little while.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sonic 2.
What a world.
Yes.
If we lived in that world, who's Clint Eastwood playing in Sonic 2?
Knuckles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bold.
Good
Bold.
casting. Mm-hmm. I got a little article here, Joe, from Business Insider. The article begins, Tubi is having a moment. The Fox-owned, which means Disney-owned, the Fox-owned free streamer has grown 60% in the last year.
I wonder who helped with that.
Faster than any major streamer. It captured 1.6 of streaming view time in March. Of all streaming, Tubi has 1.6, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is ahead of Peacock and Max.
Wow.
Yes.
I should really dump Max then. 'Cause
and apparently it's extremely close to reaching Disney Plus numbers.
But did you see what Disney Plus did? I think it was like Thursday night, to me at least.
No, I was on set, Joe. I don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that. My Hulu subscription expired, and it was on an old debit card with an old account, and I'm like, I haven't had access to that in 5 years since I got my new card.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, I need to cancel this. I'm trying to get rid of it. I haven't been able to do that, and then the card expired, so it's just done. I'm like, okay, thank God. So I activated a new Hulu account with my new card.
Yeah.
And the next day, I have an update for my Disney Plus app. What is one of the little banners on Disney Plus now? Because it owns Hulu. Hulu. All of Hulu's stuff is on Disney Plus now. So they are effectively just killing Hulu now and making their Disney Plus interface next to impossible to navigate because it's so shit.
Yeah, I haven't been in
Not that Hulu's was any better.
I didn't mind the Hulu. I haven't gotten to do Disney. The only thing I'm usually doing on Disney is just The Simpsons anyway, when I'm cooking dinner or whatever. So I haven't, I probably haven't looked at Disney Plus since like Saturday or Friday even.
It's a mess. And so obviously my kids have Disney Plus accounts, and I had to go in and really change all of the parental guidelines on it because the first Omen was showing up on the banner for like there's the opening page, and I'm like, I know there is some deeply fucked up shit in that movie that I don't want either of my kids seeing. What? There's also like,
sure,
I've only heard. I mean, I want to watch it.
Listen, I've seen it. It's true. I went to the test screening. It's true.
But there's also just like a lot of Hulu stuff that's not appropriate for children, and it's just on my kids' accounts now that I put them down to like PG, and like Julian's just on a G-rated one now, so he doesn't have access to like anything anymore. You can't even watch Cars on a G-rated account. I had to put it up to PG.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck's in Cars?
For cartoon violence. The cars blow up in it.
What? They do?
And then, yeah, there's a sequence where lightning blows up in the third one, and he has to get like rebuilt or something.
Oh,
No, your reaction is exactly how the car sounds when it gets blown up. Just kidding. So yeah, I paid an extra $17 to Hulu for a month with no ads, even though my Disney Plus subscription has no ads already. Has Hulu now.
No!
Uh-oh.
Joe!
What happened?
Bad news?
It's okay. Break it.
Have you heard about Netflix's thing?
Oh, okay. Oh, no.
They've just tweeted out a photo I've been sent from a man on the street.
On the street.
No, not Mr. Jeremy Neelev. It is,
yes, no, I did see. I should have opened with this. Wow, way to bury the lead. I'm sorry. You break it. It's yours.
the famous Godzilla -1 thing. It's like he's swimming around in the water. So does that mean Netflix is going to be streaming this?
It's streaming right now, my friend.
What?
It's on there right now.
But now here's the scary part. Does that mean there's going to be no physical media?
There will be one. I just think it might not be till the end of the year. Because it's just coming out in Japan on physical media, either like this, like in the next couple of weeks or next month.
No, it came out earlier in May. Came out
it did? Okay.
May 3rd. I was on watch. I almost got it because the box looked really cool, but it didn't have any English subtitles, so I went,
Yeah, that's also why I was like, ah, shit.
Like, I'm really just getting like an art piece at that point, so I don't. I'll just hope that the English version looks as cool. It'll be my...
Sometimes. Although the one for Shin Godzilla looks pretty cool, right? They saw the poster?
It has the poster, but it's just like a regular DVD. This thing looked like it was like a steelbook, cool, white thing.
Okay, maybe I didn't see it then.
Shin Godzilla obviously didn't do as well over here, but it certainly is an extremely Japanese thing about the Fukushima disaster that like most people don't even remember happened over here, so... It's also a little more demanding. It's a little artsier. See, Godzilla -1, 5 easy pieces. Shin Godzilla, King of Marvin Gardens. So that's kind of...
I see it now. I see it. So I see both now. I get it. Yeah, because I really, really, really enjoyed -1. I'm so glad I saw that in the theater. Thank you for pushing me.
What a great theatrical experience. I am foremost expert on the Godzilla -1 theatrical experience.
I don't think anyone can top you. We have it documented.
Yeah.
Was it 11?
No, it was 10. Oh, geez, now I don't know. It was 10 with an 11th in color, or it was 10 because the last one was in color. I don't quite remember. I'd have to go through the letterbox. Mm-hmm. But I got last looks on the Deadpool.
I have last looks, and I'll say, watch it. It's fun. It's a fun time. It's goofy. I was not expecting a goofy Clint Eastwood movie. He gives like an Arnold Schwarzenegger line at the end. It's so great.
Was the first Dirty Harry like that, or was that like a real movie?
That's a real movie.
Okay, so this is just like
it's based off the Zodiac Killer. He's going after the Zodiac Killer.
Really?
That's why I've seen a clip of the first one 1,000,000 times because I've seen Zodiac so many times.
Okay, I got you.
But,
that's why it's San Francisco. Okay, makes sense. Does it also have Drew Carey's brother?
Yes. Wait, Dirty Harry? What are you talking about?
Dirty Harry, yeah.
I thought you were talking about Zodiac. No.
No, he doesn't reprise his role? Yeah.
I don't think he was like... I think he was a kid.
Yeah,
it was
probably.
The 70s.
The Zodiac boy.
71.
Yeah, the prequel, Young Zodiac Killer.
Oh, maybe he's like... You know what? Maybe he was a kid on the school bus in Dirty Harry.
Well, we gotta get like a Dirty Harry prequel, like Clean Harold.
Don't put that into the... Don't put that out there. Don't do that.
Yeah, starring Anya Taylor-Joy.
Well, she's not gonna do every prequel.
Dirty Harriet.
I believe... someone pointed out, I can't remember who, but someone pointed out that Anya Taylor-Joy is a very short woman, and Charlize Theron is known for being a pretty tall actress.
Yeah.
And the fact that the movie Furiosa ends like 5 seconds before Fury Road starts, and you're like, did she just grow like a foot? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, if that's supposed to be the point, why not just get Charlize Theron back? Or was she like, I'm not fucking doing this?
She and Tom Hardy and George Miller there's like tons and tons and tons of like articles and reported footage from that's just like, they don't get along. They were like, it was quite an experience on set of like making that movie. It was like impossible to make.
Yeah, but is George Miller even involved in this at all, or?
Yeah, he made the movie. He's touched every Max.
He made Furiosa?
He directs every Mad Max.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This just seemed like very much, I don't know, I just didn't think he'd even want to do this.
Oh, no. He wants to do another one, but it's...
Oh, he's certainly...
I know, he's not going to be able to do it unless this one actually, like...
What's there to do? You did the whole prequel. What, you going to do a sequel where, like, everything's fine? That was your goal? You didn't want to do more... The thing that confuses me is that you set up that Mad Max movie to be, like, a great franchise structure, right? You have, like, a regular movie, and, like, Mad Max is, like, coming in to do stuff. Mm-hmm. It was really Charlize Theron's movie, and Mad Max just happened to be there. That way you don't run out of things for Mad Max to do. He's just always like ancillary. And then you just never made another one in that mode again. Why? And then you said, well, what if we go back to the non-Mad Max character?
Hold on.
Was that why people liked Mad Max? They liked her? I just don't... Okay, go on.
Well, it was a big popular character, but also George Miller had the Furiosa script ready to go before they were shooting Fury Road.
Okay.
He just knew it was going to be much more expansive, and he didn't have Charlize Theron wasn't going to be playing the younger version of herself in it. So they were like, but we have like a whole background for your character, so you know what you're going into when you make this movie. So everyone knew what was going on.
Okay.
Over 10 years ago now, when they made that first movie. And he knew he wanted to make this, and he's been trying to make it like since the pandemic, like before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened and slowed everything down a lot, obviously. I guess, I'm not sure, but I thought I heard that he wants to get Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy was like game to go back, just not to work with Charlize, I guess.
Yeah.
To do the Mad Max version of the prequel of Fury Road, which is The Wasteland.
I mean, you did it though, right? You had 3 Mad Max prequels, right? I already know that story, so that's why I was okay that he was an ancillary character. Like, we've already done his thing.
I guess this takes place after, I guess the Wasteland would take place after Thunderdome and in between Thunderdome and Fury Road. So you're getting them, and there is a cameo for Max in it. You just see like the back of his head, which that feels like a studio note out of anything.
Yeah,
I would
yes.
never expect George to do that. And it's just like, hey, this is a Mad Max saga. Where the fuck is Max? Give us a Max. And it's the same shot that you see at the beginning of Fury Road, where you see him like next to his car. I know you're not going to see it. That's why I told you.
Not going to see it.
Even though you should.
This all sounds stupid. And is Anya Taylor-Joy even like big leading lady thing?
That's what I was trying to think of.
She
what
obviously
her
the star of a lot of like kooky indie things, but then would you want to like put a big tent? Yeah, the Vivitch and Neon Demon. Like
she's not in that.
Yes, she is.
That's Elle Fanning.
Oh no,
that's Elle Fanning. Just another pale, tall, like medium height blonde lady.
Feels like an okay one though, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's much better than you mixing up. I
don't want to bring it up. What about the Soho one? Who was the Soho lady?
That's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay.
That's where George Miller saw her, and he was like, "Yeah, let's bring you in for Max." She's in The Northman. Oh, she's in Split. That did good business.
But she wasn't the star of that.
But she is. I know she's not on the poster, but it's James McAvoy and her are like co-leads in it. I feel. I don't know. Am I wrong?
If you're not putting her on the poster, Hollywood's not trying to push her as the star, so they're already kind of like on edge. Like, are people coming for her?
She's in The Menu. That movie did pretty well. And
yet the only thing I remember from that trailer is Ralph Fiennes. So
you didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
It's fine. I liked it. Fine.
Did a chunk of America see it?
Yeah, no, the movie made money.
Okay.
I'll tell you how much it made right now, and I'm gonna eat my words probably. America definitely had menu fever. Are you kidding me?
So someday when we do the Anya Taylor-Joy season, I'll get around to it.
God, looking up this movie is impossible when you just type in The Menu to Google. The SEO or whatever is just impossible. God, what's the year? 2021, I think? Is it 22? It's 22. I really remember when I saw it.
Where were you when The Menu came out? It's just like the moon landing or the Kennedy assassination.
I mean, I like the cast of this movie. Hey, it did very well. On a $30 million budget, it made 80.
Okay, hey, we'd all want to be there.
And she was nominated by the Golden Globes for Best Actress.
Oh, well, Golden Globe knobs, roll out the carpets. $10 a pop. $80 million on a $30 million budget. That's better than Clint Eastwood's film.
That is absolutely true.
All right.
Yeah, I liked Furious. It was fun.
My last looks?
Yeah, what are your last looks?
Why did Jim Carrey do this movie? Well, I guess the Coppola thing didn't get him as the springboard to success that perhaps he was hoping for with his 10 lines that he had.
Yeah.
You know, he's just taking whatever kooky roles he can get. Joe's right. He didn't get to utilize his kind of face. He has to do this whole thing. I like his little Wookiee outfit or whatever he's doing there. Taking whatever roles he can get. As for how the title fight's going, wouldn't want to be Jim Carrey right now.
No, he's doing terrible.
Eddie Murphy's done like 6 films, and 4 or 5 of them are the top grossing films of that year. And Jim Carrey...
Yeah, he's like the most famous man in the world at the moment. Like everyone knows who Eddie Murphy is.
Jim Carrey's lucky if he's in the first batch of credits in a movie.
And he's not in this. He's not. Evan Kim is over him.
Yeah, once I saw his name didn't pop up, I went, we're not getting a lot of him. He's going to be like a weird like drug dealer informant on the streets or something, or some kind of junkie guy. And then I was right. And
You were right. You nailed it.
All right, but the Francis Ford Coppola thing happened and it sprung off. I might have guessed it, but also seemed like wasn't one of his movies that did well anyway, so was not going to be that likely.
Well, let me tell you, maybe he'll do another Buddy Van Horn movie with his buddy Clint someday.
Okay.
Buddy Van Horn. Do you know who Buddy Van Horn is?
No, I don't know what the fuck that is. Is that the director of this movie?
He directed 3 movies. The Deadpool.
Yeah.
Any Which Way You Can.
Oh, with the orangutan.
Which is the sequel to Any Which Way But Loose that he didn't direct. He directed the monkey sequel. And another movie that Clint Eastwood made that you will find out in a little while.
All right, so Buddy Van Horn just coming in and directing Clint Eastwood sequels. That's what he's known for?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, I'd like to thank Cranberries and Some Variety for sponsoring this episode. I'd like to thank Lev Van Rensselaer for minding those audio boards and keeping the sound so slippery smooth. I'd like to thank Joe Vekeman for stopping by.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm your host, Patrick Skeyhill. You can find my features, documentaries, short films, video essays, animations, behind-the-scenes footage, and so much more at QuixoticUnited.com and social media, presumably with a similar-sounding name. Thank you all for listening. Joe, say goodnight.
Good night.
You did see the Pink.
Pink?
I saw the TV glow.
Ah, yes, the Pink Opaque.
The Pink Opaque. I was this close for my Letterboxd review. I was this close to saying, wow, somebody's been reading my diary.
I mean, maybe. Jane is online.
Online? Like, I was born like 15 years ago and that's where I keep my journal. No, I got a book and a little key, Joe, obviously.
Oh, that kind of?
I'm a middle school girl from the mid-90s.
No, I thought you just meant your Letterboxd.
No.
You do leave good thoughts in there.
I'm always close to like teetering on the edge of insanity with my consuming of media at those tender ages of middle school and high school. So I get it. I've been there. But legitimately, I do think this is like the trans people's Get Out. You know what I'm saying? Are you feeling some of that?
Yeah, I understand that point of view. I just haven't had. When I watched it, I was never questioning my identity, but I was really just. I don't know. I felt really like seen in the movie. I felt like someone has understood me now. Because I got so obsessed with stupid TV shows when I was younger, and just like the like being young, being like feeling like you're alone, especially like when like I think the character like really starts out. It's supposed to be like 12.
Yeah.
Right. That's when I probably felt my most alone, because that's when I like went to a new middle school with no friends at all, and I was just like alone. I'm like I got my TV stuff.
I know. Yeah, I really connected with the female character there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you connected with the potentially male character. Yeah.
Yeah, Justice Smith. Yeah. Just because I was like, I don't know what I like. It's just like, I like TV characters.
She's the woman, right, that did the World's Fair?
Yes. And I really want to rewatch that now, because I'm like, because I think at a certain point I kind of like tapped out and I just like had it on in the background at a point. So I'm like, I really need to pay more attention to it.
Listen, the slow horror is not for everybody. I get it. It's very micro horror. And she probably made it for like $10,000. Like, you're kind of limited at what you can do. But look, you give her kind of like a real budget.
Give her
and
a
you get budget.
Like this. Wow. She's already working on her next film. It's a slasher film, and I'm very excited for it. I'll watch anything she does now. She won me over.
It's a great film. It should have a bigger audience than it does. Very sad.
Okay, so people are like freaking out about the box office right now, obviously, because they thought Furiosa was like played smaller than they thought, and I'm like, guys, Challengers has made almost $90 million. That's incredible. Challengers? What? Really? A tennis movie?
And they're just like, oh no, why don't people want to watch our derivative lazy crap? Like, why? We threw women in there. They should love it. They're minorities. They should be loving this. What are we doing wrong? Why aren't they watching Garfield? Oh no, we cast Chris Pratt.
Well, that's the thing. They did their Chris Pratt challenge on that, and they're like, well, I guess he doesn't pass this one time. Not everything is Chris Pratt proof. You can't just say, oh, throw him in there, it'll make $100 million. No, it made less. Thank God. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's a fine movie, but...
It's not melting down because people don't like movies. It's melting down because they're finally sick of your crap. Oh, well.
I have a good feeling about the horror coming out in July. I already messaged you.
Yes, you did. I saw horror yesterday, the in a violent nature.
That... Well, I want to see it, but that movie has one showtime at Bellingham. That's the only place it's playing it. And it's playing at 6:30 in the evening. And I'm like, I guess I could try to see it today?
Yeah, you might be out on that one.
I might be really tired because I have to go to work at 2 in the morning, but I could try to see it tomorrow. It's either today or tomorrow. Those are my only options. That's it. Can't go see it during the week because it's way too late.
Well, I saw it at 1 in the afternoon because it's great over here.
Well, shut up.
But afterwards, I then went to the mall.
Uh-huh.
I went to the mall and was accosted by this woman. Comes over to me, got a clipboard. She goes, hey, would you like to fill out a survey for Cologne? Would you like to do a survey for Cologne? And she's behind she's in front of a place called Opinions LTD. So I go, I know these types of places. I used to do this a lot on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Many of my stories from there have made it onto the podcast. But I really won't need to go to the store and get home quick. So I was like, oh, no, I don't even wear cologne, which is true. And she goes, no, it'll just take a couple minutes, and you get to keep a sample of what you want. And I go, no, I actually don't wear it. And she actually grabs my arm and, drags me in, and I go, all right, here we go. So. She goes, I just filled out these forms, and I'm like, well, I'm already in the building, I guess. And now I'm feeling like maybe this is a very predatory feeling. Like, this is
it does. Yeah. This is how they get you.
Some women are like, well, I'm already in the house. I guess I'll just make out with him. I don't know. So...
Oh, God.
Kind of get the mindset, this trapped mindset. Mm-hmm. Like, you're in there, just do it so they'll let you go. Yeah, then they pull me in this little room, and they're like, all right, so I need to know before we start what kind of cologne you normally wear, and we'll get you the sample based off of that. And I said, well, as I said outside, I don't usually wear cologne. I don't smell very good. And then I went, oh, no. Let me rephrase that. My nose doesn't work super well and doesn't smell great. And I go, no, it doesn't smell well. This is why adverbs and adjectives are important to distinguish. So I don't really care about smell, so I don't usually care about how I smell. And she goes, all right, I'm just going to put down Tommy Hilfiger. And I went, okay, well, I'm used to this system. As I used to fake a lot of surveys back on the East Coast to get some cash to get by. Maybe I'll get paid at the end of this. I certainly don't care about keeping the free sample, whatever they're going to give me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a free sample. It was like a big old fucking jug, Joe. They bring in, they grab my wrist. They go, all up my arm.
Ugh.
The smell still lingers, in fact.
Damn.
And then they're like, all right, why don't you come over to this computer and fill some things out? And I go, all right. And then I'm reading it, and I go, it sounds like you should be asking me these questions. She goes, nope, just fill it out. Meanwhile, I can hear in the next room, that person's getting asked questions. And I gotta read mine like a schlub. So I fill them all out, and I'm making it up because I clearly don't use cologne, but she's already said that I do. So I'm just I guess I kind of like it. And when I'm going out formally, and
this is Stockholm Syndrome 101.
Yeah, I have to smell like a midnight rose and whatever. So then finally she goes, all right, here you go. And you just gotta wear this every day for a month. And I go, this was not what was said outside. When we were still in the clipboard territory. You said 15 minutes. Why am I got a whole week? She goes, yeah, we're going to call you in those days. And I went, yeah, okay. All right, fine. And then she get pulled outside, and then I get a check, and I go, oh, babe, okay, all right, this is kind of worth it here, for $5. Oh. And I was like, why is this in check form? Just give me a $5 bill. Now I got to go to the stupid bank for $5?
Uh-huh. It's the Big Lebowski joke when he pays for the milk or the half and half for 67 cents at the checkout.
And I'm also remembering this old story where a certain former president of ours became infamous as being one of two rich people to cash a 13-cent check as part of a practical joke from a magazine.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, well, now I got to cash this stupid $5 thing here. Fortunately, there's an ATM across the street. So then I drive on over. The store didn't have the thing I was looking for. That's a different story. So driving across the street to the ATM, there's a big line, and I go, that's odd, because this is a 2-lane ATM. Usually the line's not very long here. But then I can kind of crane my neck, and I go, oh, there's a big traffic cone in front of the other lane. Must be because it's broken.
Yeah.
Well, the truck in front of me didn't really give a shit about that, so eventually she got bored of waiting in line, just sort of swerved over to the other lane and just ran right over the cone. And I go, well, maybe she has somewhere to be and she's going to be super late. No, she actually stopped at the ATM and tried to put her card in. And I go, you didn't think the cone there was odd? Or maybe if you didn't see it because you're so high up, you didn't feel like you ran over something? It was like, oh my God, what? And then sure enough, the ATM doesn't work. And she's like... And she got to drive all the way around to the front again. But now there's already 3 cars behind me, so I kind of feel there's a little justice. Now she has to wait even longer in line. I was like, Eventually I'm like the car in front. There's a car at the ATM, and I'm now behind that car, so I'm next. But then I realize, let me put that cone back up so nobody else makes the same mistake. And as I'm getting out of the car, another car pulls over, and a woman gets out to move for the cone. And I go, oh, well, another good Samaritan's out there, and she's willing to... No, she grabs the cone and, throws it off the side of the lane. And I go, okay, that's an odd way to do that. And then she pulls up to the ATM, and I go, no, you were behind me. You saw the truck thing. It's not going to work for you. And of course, it doesn't work for her either. And she does the thing with her eyes, and then she's got to go circle around. So then I have to quickly get out of the car before the guy in front of me finishes, because then all the people behind me are going to be mad. But I got to run out of the car. I got to, unfold the cone that's been all run over. Got tire marks on it. Put the cone down. Waving everybody off. Get in the car. What happened to people? What's going on?
I'm not surprised by this story at all.
It felt like there were 5 brain cells collectively in the line at the ATM. Oh, I forgot the best part of the story. I get out of the mall to go with my stupid $5 check. I'm getting towards my car. Suddenly, 2 cop cars from either direction, swarm behind me. And I go, oh, no.
Uh-oh, my worst nightmare.
I didn't do anything. I'm sorry, I didn't take the cologne. It was a free sample. I'm technically not supposed to talk about it, so they might be outside my house right now being like, are you talking about that cologne in there? No. They pulled behind the car, but they didn't want me. They wanted somebody on the other side of the aisle. So then, a lady gets out of that car, and I kind of wanted to eavesdrop, but they kept looking at me. But that was good, because I wanted to get in my car and see that I was getting in my car so that they could at least move a little bit so I could get out of the parking lot. Mm-hmm. But then they just stay there and keep talking. And then I guess more cop cars were around, because then 4 more officers they got a little officer powwow around this lady. I have no idea what they could be talking about, why they needed to talk about it for 12 minutes. But I wasn't going to get out of my car and be like, officer, I've got places to be.
They wanted her Garfield review.
Yeah.
She was giving a really in-depth, detailed review. Wasn't missing any moments, any plot points.
They were like, yeah, but at least Samuel L. Jackson was good. And she went, he was phoning it in. Sorry.
You went to the same exact next line I was going to pull. Excellent.
Yeah, then the woman gets to go off. But the officers then powwow a little more. And I go, guys, come on, we got to go. You saw me come in here. And then they leave, and I go, oh, fine. And then the 2 cars, their engines start. I think they're going to move, but they don't go backwards to get out of the lane, which would have made a little more sense based on the geography. They kind of start to pull past each other. And then they do the stupid thing where they stop with their windows near each other, and they just start chatting there, too. And I went, no, officers, I got to go home. All right. You want to do Deadpool 2? Deadpool and Wolverine? Is that what we're doing now?
No.
No?
Don't forget the article. This one we need the article in front of it.
With the definite article? You're right.
Yes.
You're right.